Cheers, my loves. I hope that all of you are doing really well. And in this video, as per request, we're going to talk about the dark masculine energy man. This is a man that society sees as most valuable today. This is what we are taught to define as the high value man. He is driven, he is goal oriented, he's ambitious, he's intelligent, he is an achiever. He doesn't need anybody. He's a leader, he's a natural born leader. Just like a dark feminine woman compensates for the wound in her masculine with her feminine energy. Why? Because she needed to be protected, and there was a failure to get her protected. She needed to be guided, and she wasn't guided. She needed to be contained, and she wasn't contained, and so she amplifies the feminine energy. She brings out her inner psychopath to protect her. This is a man who is also wounded, and through the wound, either the light will enter and he will transition to a greater version of himself, or he will self-destruct, or, as most often happens, he will destroy those around him, things around him, in the name of the greater good, of course. This is a man who needed to be unconditionally loved, who needed to be important, who needed to be nurtured, but was given none of these things to the extent to which he needed them. And so he learned to compensate for that with that ambition, with that ruthlessness, with that strength. This is a man who perceives sensitivity as weakness, emotionality as weakness, sensuality and sexuality as manipulation tactics. He certainly uses them that way. Oh, he succumbs to beauty, all right. But the only kind of woman that deeply resonates with him is the one that mirrors to him his feminine energy, his deeply chaotic feminine energy. When he finds her, there is a battle that eventually takes place after that first phase where that insane focus, that insane attention that he is capable of directing towards himself briefly, he directs it at her. And there she is, the most important person in the whole world, the luckiest girl in the whole world, until he takes it away and reveals that what she actually is a junkie for his validation, his love, his choices. Of course, she starts betraying him, but often he will start betraying her first. Of course, she starts destroying him, but often he will start destroying her first. Eventually, he is likely to win. Why? Because the masculine energy, it is the energy of drive, of action, of ambition, unlike the feminine, which is also passive. Through sheer action, he is likely to win. And so she is replaced with the next victim. And the cycle repeats itself, while he longs to claim her beauty for himself, her love for himself, her gifts for himself, and get rid of her. After all, he has his choice of woman. He is the definition of magnetic, of charismatic, of charming. When it's time for this man to choose a companion for his life, if he wants to, for often he will not, he chooses somebody ordinary, somebody who doesn't threaten him, somebody that he wouldn't be competing with, somebody subservient. If they're perfectly subservient, he will kindly ignore their existence while pretending to be an asset to them. He wants a person that is a non-person, like a toy, and a servant, 2 in 1. This is a man who is dangerous. He's psychopathic. If he is in an environment where his goal-driven nature, where his ambition, where his intelligence can be appropriately directed, he doesn't become criminally psychopathic. He just channels this, sometimes in ways that can aid humanity greatly. And certainly, when it's in ways that harm humanity greatly, he still tells himself that the end justifies the means. He gaslights himself more than anybody else. And sometimes, when he finds himself in an environment where he can't manifest his visions, ambitions, dreams, where his ego cannot run wild, he becomes criminally psychopathic and eliminates the obstacles in his path. It so very rarely happens that this man is awakened, shaken out of the wound, because his feminine energy heals just enough. Love enters just enough for the masculine to let go and to begin to heal. It doesn't need to happen through a woman. It can happen through a child, through a circumstance, through something that gets through. But more often than not, he will destroy those around him, or he will pretend to be the most successful, enviable, desirable, happiest man in the world, when in reality, he doesn't have the faintest idea of what happiness looks like. Cheers, my loves. I wish you all a beautiful day. Bye.